We're trying to pick up the communications from the tanks. Nice job, buddy. Turn your turret on, will you? Right back here. Mimic your turret. That's it. You got him.
Hey Tankers, welcome back to another week of Tanker Chat. So, how's everybody? Are you ready for the Memorial Day weekend? I know I am. I was ready for it. I was ready for it. 2-3 weeks ago. So yeah, got the Memorial Day weekend. Little channel update. It's been really busy. As you guys know, there was no Tanker Chat last week because I was out gallivanting across the country. Probably not the smartest thing to do, to be honest with you, but I was. My youngest daughter, as you know, lives in upstate New York. Goes to school up there. She was coming home, so you can run into some fairly nasty storms through Ohio and Tennessee and that, and she doesn't do real well in those. So anyway, asked if I would help drive her home, so no problem. So travel nowadays is a little strange because the airports are empty and everything's closed, right? There were like 40 people on my first flight, which was nice. So I got, a row all to myself. There were like 30 some people on my next flight because I used to be able to get a direct flight from the Dallas area to Buffalo, and now I have to go through Chicago. And so, it's just really weird. Land in Buffalo, call up the hotel and say, hey, where can I pick up your shuttle? And they're like, we don't have the shuttle anymore. I'm like, okay, you can get a taxi. Nope, no taxis. So I ended up having to walk. Luckily the hotel was like almost across the street from the airport, but you still got to walk through all the parking lots and crap. And I walked over to the hotel, and I think there were probably 5 people, including myself, staying in that hotel at the time. But it was kind of surreal. Honestly, I've never seen Buffalo that quiet. But anyway, so that's pretty much my weekend update. So I got back, and now I'm ready to play tanks and get caught up on videos again, or keep plugging away at the videos. Just so you guys can kind of understand what I got here. This is the list of videos that need to be recorded and edited. And that's just a partial list. I still haven't pulled everything out of my email. So I've got your videos. They're coming. I've got 1.8 videos still to go. That I'm going in and cherry picking some good videos out of those. So they're coming. Be patient. I'm not making any of them. I'm just behind. So hopefully this weekend I can get a lot done and we can get get your videos out there quicker. But it's really hard because I can only record videos at certain times, and it's either very early in the morning or very late at night with the whole Corona thing and my kids, my daughter and son-in-law working in the house and stuff like that. It's just very hard to record them, so I have to push through when I do it. Let's see, Twitch. Again, my Twitch channel is kind of gone in a little hibernation. I get a couple of times to stream. I'm hoping to stream quite a bit this weekend, but it's very difficult again because the office is not as accessible to me as it normally was. Good news on the home front is my daughter and son-in-law will be moving into their own house here fairly in the near future, so I will be able to move into my new studio. Which is been taken over by my grandson. So once I get that all set up, then we'll have, so it'll be a lot nicer, and I'll actually maybe be able to remove the green screen at times. So plan on having a whole setup up there. So that's coming. YouTube doing great. Like I said, no issues there. Everything's going really good. I hope you guys are having some really good games out there because I'm getting a bunch of ace tankers, so it sounds like you are. And we're getting we're getting some stuff from some new guys, which is great. I enjoy that. I enjoy getting new people coming in, and they're obviously coming in through word of mouth because that's how we roll. So anyway, let's see what's in the news. All right, well, now we'll check out the news. So here we are at the main page. Starting from the top down, obviously 10th year anniversary Act 2 is here. I'm not sure how many of you have gotten into that one yet, but let's see what the Act 2 is. So Battle was Act 1. Okay. Conquering the World is it now. National voiceovers were included into the game while the American T-30 tank was transformed into a Tier 9 tank destroyer. First assault and encounter battles were waged, and wow, really, that was assault and encounter battles were clear back in 2012, 2013. Wow. And the new graphic game physics tanks could get off the ground. So this doesn't seem like it was that long ago, does it? But anyway, the second act is now in play. So get on those missions. We have 9 days of the Chieftains Challenge. Not sure if anybody really picked that up. I just happened to kind of notice it. And I think when I first looked at it, it really didn't make sense to me. So I've been just recently, well, today I went back and read it. And again, with my travel and all that, I haven't had a chance to really play a lot. But apparently, if you're registered as a former military, a current or former military, and you're registered with the World of Tank Salutes site, if you click this link and put in the code, then the games you play that get you a base XP of 1200 are counted, versus the games that, say, somebody like me who's non-military, who's never military, would play against that. And I guess we're seeing who plays more or who can get there, or if your military background was beneficial in the game. Based on the numbers that I'm seeing right here, it doesn't look like that's necessarily the case. But then again, if it's one thing, I have my former clan, and my current clan obviously has ex-military members, and my former clan that I go back and still play with those guys and platoon with them had former and current military members. But I noticed that there just doesn't seem to be that. I'm not gonna say it's drive, because they have the drive to play. It's yeah, okay, yeah, well, okay, if I do, I do. If I don't, I don't. Kind of mentality. Yeah. Whatever. And on things like this. So that kind of, and what I'm saying is that can someone explain this number here that you're seeing, where it's almost a 50% difference? They just, no, I don't want to say it's laissez-faire, but it's just more of a, I'll get there, and I'm not saying that's indicative of the military. It just seems to be the older, and we're talking like Vietnam War vets and stuff like that, where they're just like, I'll get there. I'm not worried about it. But anyway, so by doing that, every year in 1200 base XP, then you get an emblem and a token sniper. So, all right, well, there's that. Let's see. Memorial Day weekend, 5 times XP weekend. All right. So there's a lot of things going on this weekend. So you want to make sure that you're taking advantage of it, right? So you get a 5 times XP bonus. And I'm sorry. This all started on Friday at 6:20 in the morning Central Time, and will end Tuesday at 6:20 in the morning Central Time. For me. So you got a 5 times XP bonus. So 5 times XP for the first victory of the day. Okay. Now, in my opinion, that brings out all the cuckoos, all the nuts, because they'll be all over the place. But 5 times XP can't really beat that. Preset styles, customizations, paints, camouflage, and garage slots are all 50% off in gold. Okay. Consumables and equipment are 50% off on consumables. Or credits. So that appeals to me, because I use a lot of food, a lot of repair kits, med kits, stuff like that. So I like it when they go on sale. 50% is really good. So I'm stocking up. XP to free XP exchange, 1 to 40. Now normally that is what is it? It's a 1 to 25. So a 1 to 40 is really good. It's almost 50%, 1 to 50. But so I've turned on a lot of my tanks that are getting XP, so I can crank up my XP. My free XP, and I use my free XP to get through the module. So I'll grind a tank to the next tank, and then I'll get the new tank, and then I'll free XP all the modules, because I don't like grinding through all the guns and the tracks and the engines and stuff. I refuse to do that. Let's see. Regular tank, tier 5 vehicles are 50% off on credits. Tier 6 through 7 are 30%, and 8 through 10 are 15%. So Memorial Day weekend, you also get a 2 times XP, be one of the top 10 XP earners on your team in victorious battles. So you do have the win restriction there, but that makes sense because you're getting XP. So that's all running this weekend. So geez, there's a lot of stuff going on. Make sure you don't lose out on anything. If there's that tank you really wanted to get, unfortunately mine are mostly tier 10, but still got some credit discounts. Sitting on some credits. It would have been nice to have that like after Frontline when I've made my credits, but we'll see. I'm sure I'll get a tank out of it. I just haven't figured out which one yet. All right, let's see. Explore the road to Berlin. Let's see here. So we all know the Berlin's coming with the 1.9.1 patch, and played it a little bit in the what was the mode they had that just recently, and I kind of like the map, and I know there's been some speculation as are they going to keep all the rubble piles that they had and the areas that they had to in the random map, and I hope they do. Now that has its drawbacks. Don't get me wrong, because it could make for a really grindy, map where you don't. Unlike the channelized maps that we currently have, where you're kind of forced into a gauntlet of shots. I mean, you could this one you could have people hiding behind rubble piles that could be really hard to dig out, and maybe become more of an dare I say an arty favored map. But we'll see. Anyway, that'll be in the 1.9.1. I'm sure you can. It should be on the common test. So if you've tried the common test, let us know. Let's see. So the 1.9.1 common test too. All right, hey, that makes sense. So what changes? Fix some issues in the Tank Academy. Issues concerning the inscription on your vehicles. I mean, this one is supposed to be mainly other than the Berlin map, and I think it's mainly cosmetic and stuff you can do to your tank type of changes. So, but it looks like there's some gun changes, some tank changes in there. I just don't remember everything that's going on in this one. So, but we should probably look for that one. It's in Common Test 2 now, and we got Frontline coming. My guess is it's going to be obviously after Frontline, because they wouldn't put a version patch like that out during Frontline. So we have at least a week or so to go. The T3485M, the IS2, and the T78 bundled offers. So those are all for sale. And the 3485M, it's a nice little medium. IS2 is not a bad little heavy. I really enjoy the T78. Got the speed and a pretty good whacking, smacking gun. So I enjoy that one. But I'm not a big heavy person, and I don't really play down at the tier 6 level very often. So let's see. Oh, Frontline. Frontline is coming, ladies and gentlemen. Tankers unite. For those of you who like it. For those of you who don't, I fully understand. All right, sorry about that. We needed some coffee. So anyway, we were talking about Frontline. Yes, Frontline is starting, and it's starting on Monday, the 25th at 600 my time, Central Time. So looking forward to that because Monday's a holiday, and I'll be able to get a good jump on it. This will be the last week, the last stage for the year, and after this, I will have completed the tokens for the Char Future, and at least I'll get that out of there, and then Steel Hunter starts, and I think I'm gonna just put it out there right now and say I am not playing Steel Hunter. If it's anything like what I remembered from last year, I'm not playing it. I don't enjoy that mode as much as I do the other modes, so that won't be for me. But for those of you who do enjoy it, hey, knock yourself out. I happen to like Frontline, and so that's the way it is. So anyway, but that's coming. So otherwise in the news, there's the Take the Chieftain challenge, okay, and World of Tanks salutes welcomes Canada. So apparently now they're accepting the Canadian Armed Forces, which is good. It's good. Nothing much going on in the premium shop, and I generally don't tend to send you guys there anyway. So let's see, what do we got on the status report? There's really not a lot of news going on in the in the blogosphere. I mean, now I don't know how many of you have kind of caught some of these things that are kind of happening, but there's apparently a new tier 10 heavy, the Object 780 in Super Test. So now again, there's a Super Test, so you really can't take anything out of it. But the 780 looks like it's just going to be a beast. Now there's rumors that this will be a reward tank, probably for like a ranked battles. Or ranked battles is usually tier 9s. This is a 10, so that'll probably be for Clan Wars, because that's what the Clan Wars needs, is more reward tanks. Yes, that's how you do it. But somebody's already restarted. But anyway, I mean, it looks like it could be a really a beast. I mean, look at that ground clearance. I mean, talk about your hovercraft medium, your hovercraft Russian body design. Good Lord. Shells will just be going right through there. It'd be like trying to hit a wheeled vehicle. Yeah, so that's out there. So that's again in Super Test. So let's not jump off the bridges yet. It's possible that it could be a dud. It could never show up. My gut says it will. Then we have another Super Test, the Lorraine 50 ton, right? So that one I kind of like that. Now that's going to be a tier 9. So my guess is that's going to either be a frontline Steel Hunter type reward tank, or it's going to be a ranked battle reward tank. So the Lorraine 50 ton, Lorraine body with just this ungodly, what is it, 120 millimeter gun on it. Goodness gracious, look at that thing. Oh. Yeah, that's a pretty looking tank. That is a pretty looking tank. So, so you have that. Let's see. Other than that, really, there's not a lot going on at least in the status report blogosphere, I guess. Oh, what's that? Watch 1.9. So, okay. Now, I did notice something on Daily Bounce, all right? And I don't know if Harkonnen has been gone or took a vacation or what, because it seems like now he's back and he's updating his blog. That the Super Test heavy and medium tank rebalance. Okay. So looking into it, what's this? What's this? They're going to talked about plan changes for the heavy tanks of three branches: the E100, the IS4, and the 110 E5. Okay. However, changes to two medium tank branches are released in Super Test today: the Progetto 65 and the Object 430U. And inside there is the standard B. Much time has passed since the release of these vehicles, and all the time that they have been unchanged. Okay. Top tier Italian vehicle is considered by many to be a complex and demanding vehicle. No, I think we're pretty much used to it now. That can perform well only in the hands of experienced players. Now, I'm an average Joe. All right, I'm just your average player. I'm sub 50%, 50% on a good day. Okay, but I don't. Let me think how to put this. The Progetto I found to be difficult when I first started playing was just getting used to the reload. Okay. What I find difficult about this is the tier 8 Progetto, the premium, right? What I find difficult about it now is its lack of penetration. It just seems to be lacking. Okay. Now, when I talk about the standard B or the Progetto 65, those tanks aren't hard to learn after you've played the Progetto and worked your way up through the tanks, the Pantera and that, because you already worked with the autoloaders, so you're used to that mechanism. The only thing that makes those tanks difficult are the tiers in which they play at. Now, I really enjoy the standard B. It's a fun tank, and I seem to do fairly well at it. Now the Progetto 65, yeah, because you're at tier 10, and the reload, if you happen to dump the whole clip, can be painful on it. But it's no different than, say, the Batchats. So I don't find it that they only perform well in experienced hands. Okay. Now that's said, okay. Now that they say that that they only perform well in experienced hands, mostly because it's an auto reloading mechanism. Speaking of the Soviet medium tank, it was and still is a vehicle that is easy to learn, which tanks to is good arm. Okay, wait a minute. I'm not the world's best public reader, but speaking of Soviet medium tanks, it was and still is a vehicle that is easy to learn, thanks to its good armor, is generally nice gun handling, became a hybrid of heavy medium vehicles that combines the survivability and firepower of the former with the advantages and dynamics of the latter. Jesus, that was a lot of words just to say that the 430U is a heavy medium. I mean, it's got incredible armor. It's got a good punchy gun. In fact, I got a game I gotta record of my 430U. But is it OP? Yes, because of the armor, not because of the gun, because of the armor. Okay. With time, it became obvious that these vehicles, that they were simply good at the start, started to stand out inefficiencies from the competition because of the growing skill of their owners. Okay, these vehicles are available to everyone. They are growing in number and start to influence the balance in general, both in random battles and special modes. Because of this, we are considering a possibility to change their characteristics. The full list of changes is provided below. Please remember these changes are not final. Okay, so this is Super Test, but this is what they're thinking, right? It's a versatile medium tank that was able to deal much damage in short bursts and sustain normal cyclical fire. So it's the changes are aimed at decreasing the efficiency of long-range shooting. That's what the Progetto 65. That's what they excel at, because they don't have the armor to get up and fight in the front, right? Long-range shooting, along with an indirect decrease in general damage per minute. It's worth noting that the main features of the whole branch, an auto reloading system, stays intact. to a point. Along with the playstyle in general, the loading time of separate shells and shell auto reloading will stay the same. No, it won't. No. The loading time of separate shells and the shell auto reloading time will stay the same. No, it won't, based upon the changes that you're making. So the turret traverse from 36 to 34. Okay, dropping it 2 degrees. Aiming time 2.1 to 2.5. We're adding 0.4 to the aiming time. Okay, increased dispersion and after firing a shot. Okay, just removed this right here. Removed the ability to mount the gun rammer. So I wanted to do I wanted to do a little comparison, right? So, and they're doing the same thing on the standard B, so that's why I have this up. So let's go to the comparisons. So on this standard B, as you can see, I've taken out the gun rammer. Otherwise, these standard Bs are my identical standard Bs that I have in my garage. All right, one with a gun rammer. So it's not going to change the inter-shell reloading, right? Let's see. I currently get 12.1, 10.5, and 8.9. 13.5, 11.7, and 9.9. That's a change. All right, so now you're saying it's going to take longer to reload individual shells if I take the gun rammer out. Because there's nothing, even if I throw the vents in there, okay, it still doesn't change that much. Okay, does that make sense? The whole magazine from 31.51 now goes up to 35.1. Okay, so it's going to take longer to reload these things. All right. The damage per minute, yes, it's going down. It's going down by almost close to 200 and something. Right now, I am getting mobility because I weigh less now because I don't have a gun rammer. So, interesting how they can say that. No, it's not going to change anything. Won't change the reload. So the standard B, now obviously different cannon, different guns have different stuff. Yeah, but you can read what they're thinking about doing, and of course, the top engine power is going to change. Power to speed, power to weight ratio. They're going to slow it down, and again remove the gun rammer. A medium tank that combines on the Object 430U branch. So does that mean that they're also affecting the 430? I'm not sure. Combines the feature of both heavy and medium tanks, such as hybrids, usually suffers from the drawbacks of the types. Object 430U managed to take the best of both of them and changes. So dispersion while moving from 0.12 to 0.16. Dispersion while turning the turret from 0.1 to 0.12. That's a jump. Nerf the frontal armor, created weak spots, decreased the thickness a bit, so the E50 had the same or better armor to add the two original nations armored medium tanks to the meta. Okay, God, I'm sorry, I just bastardized that. Front view of the commander's cupola and the gunner cupola will be weakened up by up to 270 millimeters in the effective armor, making it easier for tier 9s and 10s to penetrate. I don't know about you guys, but I don't have any problem being penetrated by tier 9s and tier 10s. I mean, yeah, I bounce some, but I mean, this lower plate gets penetrated rather nicely, and if it doesn't work, they go to the gold. So, are we modifying the tank to help account for ammo balance? I don't know. Yes, the 430 is being affected. Dispersion while moving from 0.14 to 0.16, and then again while turning the turret from 0.1 to 0.12. Again, these are in the super test, so taking for what they're worth. I think I don't see any reason for the Progettos, to be honest with you. I don't. Maybe you guys have some different thoughts on that, but I don't see any reason why they need to screw with those. But that's what they want to do. Let's see. Under the Armor Patrol, looks like they got the same stuff. Super test medium changes, update. Yeah, okay. So, oh, and then how to play the ISU 152K, which I saw Cody Menz had a video on, so the CCs must already have this in their garage, I'm assuming. Um, or he's got it somewhere because it was in his garage he was talking about, and I think he was going to have some gameplay. So, if you want to go over to his blog, Walk Guru, he's got some video on the 152K. So that's pretty much it on that front. So we'll go into random thoughts. All right, so random thoughts. Well, let's see. I getting caught up on all the other YouTubers out there that I watch. Was spent a lot of time doing that this week, and I guess the YouTuber, the player that I consider my mentor, Guido1212, had a little, not so much a rant video about his about the EBRs, which I've taken to naming everything but reality. And he brought up some very good, some very interesting, and Guido does a lot of thinking about things before he comes out and gives you a rant. And it wasn't so much a rant, it was just how the EBRs have changed the game. And I agree with a lot of it. And you know, that the up to tier 8, the whole wheeled vehicle, it fits in, it's okay, they can be hit. But from tier 9 and 10, he threw in the tier 8s, but the tier 9 and 10, those things just become absolutely insane. And they do. And I had a game last night where I was in my Leopard PTA, and this EBR would swoop in, run around, take his shots, hit me with HE, and then he'd boom, pop right back out over the hill, and he was gone. So then I'd get ready and lined up, and I can't remember what the map was. I want to say it's Ruinberg, I'm not sure. To shoot at the enemy, and here he'd come again, and I couldn't hit him. There was one time I did get a good shot into him. That's because he was running right at me, and it was just frustrating. And after about two of those strafing patterns on me, he finally was able to kill me. And I lasted maybe a minute and a half into that game. And it was just like, why? So I thought, okay. Got into another game where I was in my LT432. There were 3 EBRs on one side. And we had 2. I thought they were going to fix Matchmaker where that wasn't going to happen again. And I can't remember if they were platooned, but... and it was... I can't remember the map. I'm terrible at remembering the map names. But it's a map where it was an encounter battle, so the map's right in the center. It's got the castle and the blimp on one side, and you know, the map, the flag's right in the middle, and you got the hills. Anyway, the EBRs just raged in there, and I went and parked my 432 in a bush, and I was doing fine, getting some spotting damage. But again, I'm in a tier 8. Playing these tier 9 and tier 10 EBRs, and it was just absolutely infuriating. I did manage to get, was able to survive a little bit longer in that one, simply because I was able to hide behind a couple dead tanks and get some shots off. But you know, I can't imagine that in real life the wheeled vehicles were able to take a shot in the wheel and just keep going, even at a reduced speed. All right, I can't imagine that was the case. So a tank gets tracked in this game, and it stops. I think that one issue, along with the auto aim, that one issue of hitting these things and you don't stop them, needs to be addressed, in my opinion. The auto aim, I don't find, to be honest with you, and I mean I play my tier 8 EBR, in front lines. Just simply, and I'll be honest, it's simply because of what it can do in that game. When I'm playing, right? So this thing, I'll play it in front lines. I don't generally play it in random battles, but I will play this in front lines just simply because of the speed, the size of the maps, and the ability for it to cause the chaos that it causes. That's it. These things are they cause chaos. But I don't find that the auto aim, and at least that's for me, and an honest, as you can see, I don't have a really good crew in here, that the auto aim is that good. All right. But I've been hit by it. And this thing coming from left to right at 80 kilometers, if it can hit me, then it needs to be adjusted, right? I can't throw that on my tank. I could go download that mod and throw it on my tank and I'd get kicked out, right? So, that needs to be adjusted. But just the inability to stop these things with a good shot to the wheel. And honestly, if I hit that thing, I should be stopping this tank because 105 millimeter shell should just go right through that little thing and take out that whole drive mechanism. And that guy should come to a grinding halt. Or at least be so reduced that I can get another shot on him. Right? Maybe these big steel wheels, maybe it doesn't hurt him that bad. But, the fact that I can aim ahead of this thing and fire, and I know it should have hit him, and it still misses him. These things break the mechanic. So, my little rant about the EBRs, hey, they're a part of the game. But I do think that Wargaming needs to honestly sit down and look at it. You're testing changes on the Progetto 65, Standard B, the 430U, and the 430, and who knows what else you got coming down the pike. You're adjusting values on those tanks because you're saying there's too many of them in the game, and they're being overly successful. I don't know how many of these little bastards have been in the game or what they're doing to the game, but these things are overly successful. And I think if you look at if you actually look at the data, then I think you'll find that these are the ones that you need to address. These here, along with your reward tanks. Along with your Chieftain and your 907s and your 260s. I can deal with a 260 honestly. It the 279E. Those address those things. Don't. They are slowly sucking the life out of players like me. It's infuriating. That's it. That's my 2 cents. That's my random thought. Good on you for addressing the 430U. I know a lot of people have issues with that tank, and I know that the Russian server, pitched a total fit when you thought about changing that. And I understand this is a Russian company and it's a Russian game, and I understand all that. And but I guess good on you that you're actually showing the chutzpah that you're not going to cave into your consumers, and you're going to, by God, adjust the 430U. How long until you adjust these things? How long? Don't blow smoke up my butt. Don't pee on my foot and tell me it's raining. These things need to be adjusted. You need to do something about this because they're going to absolutely they're trashing the game. They're so frustrating. So anyway, like I said, that's my 2 cents. So I hope you all have a good Memorial Day weekend. Get out there and tank. Come by the stream. Like I said, I'm going to try and get a lot of streaming done this weekend, so look for the notifications. If you haven't turned on the notifications, go to Twitch, turn on the notifications so that you're notified when I'm streaming. I've noticed it's been lacking some viewers lately. I appreciate those that have come by, but come on by, check it out. We'll try to get as much this weekend as we can, and like I said, as soon as my daughter and son-in-law and grandkids move into their new house, then I will get back onto more of a normal schedule. So anyway, that's about all I got. Y'all take care. Have a good weekend. This is Bonsai Duck out.